you want to know more information about Ultratrans, just head on to www.ultratrans.com and you will get all the information that you need to know about the fabulous product. But today I'm actually talking about coronavirus, and I'm giving you an essential update, especially for people that are in the hair and beauty industry. As you already know, if you've been following the news, not only is the virus spreading rapidly around the world, but also the information is spreading rapidly. All the decisions that are being made by various governments are continuously changing on a day-to-day basis, and it's a case of trying to keep up with what is being said, what is being discovered, and all different steps that one needs to take. So today I'm going to be talking about let's be clear. Let's be clear from this point onwards what it is we're going to do. So I'm just going to take you through those slides today, and I'm going to pop myself in the corner so that you can see everything I want to talk about. And if I can pop myself in the corner, nope, not that in the corner, put myself in the corner. So today I'm talking about let's be clear. Now, when I'm looking at it from a let's be clear perspective, I think, there's been a lot of confusion, disruption, and clarity has been very difficult to find. So you had to really go and look for clarity, and I'm here to give you that clarity so that you know what the next step should be for you to take. Okay, so I think at this point in time, really, we need to know, when is it time? When is it time for us to go, okay, you know what? I am going to close up shop. And I know that is a crazy word, because who closes up shop in the middle of business? You just don't do that. You literally get forced to close up shop. But what I'm saying to you today is you know what? You need to assess your situation, and everybody's situation is going to be different, and know when your boat is sinking. Everybody's going to have a different timeline as to when their boat is sinking. And I'm going to tell you a little bit later on kind of the triggers for you to start thinking whether your boat is sinking or not. Then once you know that your boat is sinking, then you also need to plan your strategy. So plan, what is it I'm actually going to do in this period? What is it we're going to be able to do to move forward? And then once you've planned your strategy, it's about thinking ahead. This is really not about closing doors forever. This is not about going out of business. This is not about any of that. All or most of the governments have assured us that businesses will not go out of business. So we need to take that away from our thought process. Let it go. It's gone. And let's start thinking about, what, the here and the now, what we can do here, what we can do now, what is in our control, and focus on those and implement those. So how to know when your boat is sinking? First of all, you need to be able to look at, well, what are my triggers? And for instance, client cancellations. Have you got a number of clients canceling because they've fallen ill, they can't come for whatever reason, or even just because they're anxious? Because if you've got no clients, then you've got nobody to work on, and if you've got nobody to work on, you've got no money coming in. So you look at your client cancellations. If it's just one or two here and there, you're probably still okay. But if you start to see clients canceling in their masses, then that's an indication for you to start thinking, well, my boat is sinking at this point. The second thing is staff sickness. So if you suddenly start to find that your staff are going off ill as well, and you need your staff to be able to deliver the quality service to your client, especially at this period of time now, because, for instance, if your receptionist goes off ill, and you're the only person that's now in the salon, then you're going to have to be doing what the receptionist does, and you could be putting yourself in a vulnerable position at that point. And because the receptionist is ill, the likelihood is that you could probably get ill as well. So understand and know that maybe if my staff have started reporting that they're not feeling too well, they're not coming in, they've been out somewhere and they were in conjunction with somebody else that probably caught it, or even if they don't know that they're ill, if they know somebody that they've been in touch with that's been ill, then you'd want them to self-quarantine anyway. And when that happens, that might be a situation or a trigger that your boat is sinking. Third thing is government announces. For instance, like in the UK, the government has announced that all schools are going to be closed from tomorrow. So this automatically could have an impact on you, because suddenly you may not have anybody to look after your kids or anything like that. So your boat is sinking and it's time for you to close up shop, especially if you're running and manning your salon on your own. Also, what you don't want to be doing is mixing the two together, because you don't want people from the outside coming in and you having to look after your kids at home and then they having it and then they passing it on. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you've got vulnerable people living at home. Also, supplier issues. When you start to see that your essential items that you need in order to run your business, you can no longer have, because your suppliers can't get access to materials, or your suppliers have closed the doors, because it's not impossible. Some of the suppliers are closing doors, or just because there's government legislation that means that that goods can't travel from one country to another, because they are really limiting what goods can go from A to B. And in our industry, we're not seen as a critical industry in that sense. So it may well be that, you know what, for hairdressing stuff, well, that's not really that important. So, you know, we can put a halt on that, but we can't put a halt on drugs, for instance. We can't put a halt on paracetamol and those kind of things. And then also your world safety, because if your world itself, as in your immediate family, your parents, your husband, your boyfriend, your children are not safe, then this is a time when you've got to also think about their safety as well. And at that point, your boat could be sinking. So these are initial small triggers. There may be other triggers that you might think of, but if you've got any of these triggers, then this is a sign that your boat is sinking and you need to start looking at the next step. And what is the next step? Planning your strategy. Planning your strategy, because you need to know, you don't want to be caught unawares. You don't want to be in a situation where you suddenly got to close up shop and you have no clue what you're going to do. You want to be able to do that with ease. You want to know that actually, you know what, I know my sums, I know the amount of things that are coming in, I know all the revenue that I'm getting, and I know what needs to go out. I know what I will get if I stop working, and I know what revenue needs to go out. So all of those things, you need to be able to do your sums, know what your sums are. If you don't do monthly management accounts, you should start to do them. You know, in your spare time, start to do your budget, start to do what's coming in on a monthly basis, what's going out on a monthly basis, what you expect to come in, what you expect to go out, and your actuals as well, and match them against, you know, your forecast against your actuals, so that you know what you expect to come in and what's actually coming in, what you expect to go out and what's actually going out, because that's the only way in which you can actually scale up your business. This is actually a period of time now where we do get this time off to really look at your business and still look at the things that you've been wanting to do that you couldn't do. Look at how your business is structured. Look at how you're bringing things into your business, all the things that you are actually or your outlay, all of those things, and start looking for ways in which they can be optimized. This could be a period that you could have been praying for and you didn't know that you were praying for, but you did, because you didn't expect it to come in this form. So make sure you use it wisely. The next thing is, what is the implication to your business? So once you've done your sums, well, what is that? What does that mean for my business? Does it mean that my business can run for 3 months and it will be okay? Does it mean that it can't run any extra month without me having issues? Does it mean that actually, you know what, for a whole year you'll be fine? What's the implications to your business? And once you understand what your implication is to your business, then you'll be able to identify what your options are. Look at to see what are the options being given out by the governments. You know, if they're giving you out free, you know, grants, or if they're giving you discounted loans, or if they're giving you help, or if they're just giving you time. You know, make sure you explore all of those options and see how it can help your business. For tax reliefs, all of those things, look at those options and make sure that you apply them to your business. Don't leave anything unturned. Whatever is being offered to you, consider it and see whether it's going to work or help in your business. And then what I would say to you, whatever you do have, even if you've got a surplus, manage it. Manage it as much as possible, because you just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what the situation could be in a month's time or 2 months' time. So make sure you just manage it. Don't do unnecessary outlay. This is not the time to be stocking up on stuff. This is not the time to be getting bulks of things that you can't shift. It may well be a good idea, for example, if your clients have specific shampoos and conditioners that they use on a continuous basis. And you may want to stock up some of those items so that you can actually provide that to them in an online manner and post things out to them, because these things are still possible to do. So if you've got things that your clients generally come to and they don't need any human intervention, you can provide that to them via the post and things like that. You can provide them some online information as well, and you can do one-on-one sessions with them. So there's all lots of different things that you can do whilst you're managing your budget. So don't go overboard, don't go overspending. This is not the time to do a total spend. This is not the time to go shopping or anything like that. Well, luckily, most of the shops are going to be closed, so we're not going to be able to go clothes shopping. But I know there is the online side of things. So be wary of the online, because you can go into Online City and end up blowing your budget there. So be wary of the things that you do. This is really about economizing and trying as much as possible to live below your means, not on your means, but below your means, below what you would normally live under as economically as you possibly can. And finally, one of the things that is really, really key and important is think ahead. Know that this is not the end. This is definitely not the end. This is just a break. This is just a break for us to reconfigure, restructure, and redetermine how we're going to move forward. So no, it's not over. Make sure you reassure your clients as well that it's not over. Make sure that you feel comfortable, whatever that breakup point is. So at that point in time, when you suddenly decide that I'm closing my doors, make sure you speak to each and every one of your clients so that they understand and they are reassured as to, well, they know why. That's a good thing. So it's not a case that you have to explain why. They'd understand why and they know why, but reassure them that you will be there when all of this drops over, when all of this finishes and the virus is dead and down in the dumps, and we're treading over it and we're like doing a nice little jig on top of it. Just reassure your clients that you will still be there. Also, book clients in for the future as well. So book client future spots. I would say probably a month or 2 months from this point onwards. So from the time when you realize that your boat is sinking, then look to see 1 month or 2 months, depending on where we are in the scale. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the end at that point, but we can we can ad lib as we go along. So if, for instance, it looks like we're going to be on lockdown for a lot longer, then you just move them in blocks. So move them in the same manner, in the same way. So it's, for example, if you book them in on a Monday, the first week of June, then you can just move them to the same time, same date in the second week of June, things like that. And you're just moving your clients along so that you know that when you come out of this whole situation, you've got the clients booked up, and it's not like a mad helter-skelter. It's not like, oh my gosh, clients are trying to book you in and you're fully booked, and then they're getting more frustrated, or you're trying to do overwork because you haven't had this work for a long period of time. So, actually spread it out as you normally would, so that when you're coming back into the situation, you're not only coming back in fresh, but you're also coming back into a more relaxed scenario than you would have left, because this period is a stressful period for all of us. I totally understand that. But you know what? If we do get the break, let's use that break wisely, and let's not get ourselves back into a stressful situation. Offer text, online, phone services to your clients as well. So it's not like because I'm not here anymore that I can't communicate with you. Now you've got probably more time to communicate with them. Maybe you want to check up on them and see how they're doing. Make sure that they're, if they've got any questions in relation to their hair, they had a color or something along those lines. There might be some things that you can actually offer them that they can themselves purchase online. So start to look for things that are alternative options, like that's going to help them to sustain in this period of time. Because remember, when they come back, say it's 3 months down the line, and normally they come in every 6 weeks for color, you can imagine what their hair is going to look like in 6 months' time. So all of these kind of things is things that you need to be thinking about and reassuring your clients, and knowing that maybe when they actually do come, they're going to have a longer appointment as opposed to the same amount of appointment that they're normally used to have. So that's something, again, that you need to take into consideration. I would say plan your comeback to salon promotion or party. It may well be that, hey, we're going to be doing a party because, it's something that we're we're going to be like really super pumped to be going back to work. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, that we are going to be super pumped to be going back to work. But I assure you that more than likely we are going to be super pumped to be going back to work, because that house that we're going to be in is going to drive us all crazy, you know. So we're going to be happy to actually get some sort of like, you know, normality in our lives. So whether it's a come back to salon promotion or a party, just plan it. You've got time to do so. You've got periods of time in which you can do that. And I'm sure your clients will be so happy to receive it as well. The other thing I would like to say is keep your clients entertained. So don't go off the radar just because you're no longer doing cuts and things like that. Send messages of encouragement, you know, still keep your Instagram posts going, keep your Facebook posts going, keep all of your social media up to date, keep your information going. You know, if you see anything that you think is going to be of value to them, then post that, let them see, keep your stories going. You can also, if you wanted to, let them into a bit of your life if everything is going okay in your household, and you know, and you're not having to deal with like real ill people, where, you know, I can understand that will not be a happy moment. But if you are like, you know, you're at home because you don't have any other choice, but you're doing things like you're doing up the salon, for instance, or you're doing up your home, or you're doing a bit of gardening, let your clients come into your world a little bit, you know, so that they can see some of the things that you do. So these are the 3 things that I want to bring to your attention today. So it's really, first of all, knowing when your boat is sinking and knowing what to do when your boat is sinking. You know, getting your strategy correct, make sure you plan your strategy, and also think ahead. It's not about just the now. It's not about what's going to happen in the few next weeks or next months. Actually, you know what? Think ahead about what's going to happen in the few months or 6 months or 7 months and things like that, when things are going to be back to normal. But you want to be able to use this opportunity to optimize yourself as much as possible. So I always say to you guys, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. If you do these things, you will be able to have a smoother journey than if you don't do these things. So that's been my update today. And, you know, I hope it's helped somebody. I hope it's blessed you. And you know what? When it is time to go, it's time to go. I'll still be here giving you some live updates on the things that we're doing and hopefully helping you during this period. So, and if you're stuck for something to do and you want to learn something, then join This Is Marketing Live, because it's going to be giving you some extra stuff on marketing, which is something that you're really going to need when you go back to your salons in the future. So hope this has been helpful to you. Till next time, guys, take care. Bye-bye.